Hi, welcome to another Feldenkrais lesson. This is an elongated version of the video for anxiety, stress, and insomnia. There will be very little movement, but you can watch me demonstrate as we go. For now, take a moment to lie on your back if it's comfortable. We will do the majority of the lesson in seated, but rest on your back if you can, in your bed or on your floor or mat. We're going to practice something that will help us rest and recover sooner, sleep better. And practicing this regularly during the day or at night can start to improve reducing stress and sleep right away. And when you're ready, come to sit. And you have the option of coming to sit in a chair, or you can come to sit with hands in your lap. So I'm going to demonstrate with hands in my lap, so you can see, but you're welcome to sit in a chair. Either way, the back is upright, hands are sitting in the lap, the feet are on the floor, flat on the floor if you're in a chair, and in any position if you're on the floor and seated. Be as comfortable as you can as you sit quietly. And just take a few moments to see how you feel. What do you notice as you're sitting like this? You can always close your eyes to make it easier to feel. Take your time. You don't need to change anything right now. Just notice what is as you softly inhale and softly exhale, allowing the breath to come and go of its own accord. And you can always have a pillow in your lap if you would like more support for your hands. So we're going to bring our hands together in a certain kind of way now. We're going to stick out the pointer finger of one hand. We're going to take the other hand and grab around that pointer finger. And we still have our thumb free here. So I'm going to show that again. Pointer finger is out. I have one hand, I stick it out to the side. The other hand grabs the four fingers around the pointer finger, sticks out the thumb, and the other hand takes hold of the thumb. I'm going to demonstrate that one more time with the other hand. Pointer finger comes out, four fingers come around, you still have your thumb out, and the other hand takes that thumb. So you have one hand grabbing your thumb and one hand that's holding your pointer finger. And just like that, just hold the hands in your lap, on your pillow, making sure that they're comfortable. And just sit quietly like this with no effort to breathe, just allowing the breath to come and go, to arrive and to leave. And direct your attention to the pointer finger and thumb and notice what sensations you feel there. You might encounter a wide variety of sensations. You might sense warmth or coolness. You might sense a little bit of pressure in the gripping of one finger or the other. You might sense coldness on other fingers, kind of mist or heat. And you might feel a pulse, the rhythm of your heartbeat, of your blood moving. You might feel a pleasant sensation. You might feel a radiating sensation. You might feel a sensation that is unique to you or personal to you, and maybe it cannot be explained. Continue to softly breathe in and softly breathe out with hands in this position, and just finding where they're the most comfortable. You can always move them around to see. Always finding the most comfort in every moment. And as you softly breathe in and softly breathe out, take all the time you need for each breath. And now each time you softly exhale, very gently begin to squeeze the pointer finger with the whole duration of the exhale, and then gradually release the grip on the inhale. And as you softly exhale, now you're putting a little pressure on your pointer finger And then you're softly releasing that pressure as you inhale. Let it be the lightest amount of force, the most minimal amount of effort. Like you're barely intending to just grip that pointer finger a little bit more tightly on your exhalation, just to gradually compress it. And as you relax your grip on the inhalation, feel the expansion of the pointer finger. And feel how this is going with the natural rhythm of your breath and synchronizing. You compress the pointer finger for as long as it takes you to exhale, very gently. And for as long as it takes you to inhale, you release that pressing very slowly. You can keep your eyes closed or soft. Again, softly inhaling, softly exhaling, and taking all the time you need for each and every breath. And now keeping the hands together like this, just rest. Release the squeezing, and you can always take the hands apart if you need to. Allow your breath to be soft. Allow it to be light and unhurried. And just feel how it feels to sit quietly after doing a few of these movements of squeezing, resting the hands or keeping them together, or choosing to rest on your back if you'd like. Continue to pause and breathe for just a moment. And notice any changes in yourself, any difference in your mood or your muscles or your mind. Notice if your thoughts have slowed down at all. If life has less of a sense of urgency at this moment right now, that's the way we want to go. And you might feel that the sensation of warmth is more pronounced now with hands together or apart, or a radiation that there was a sensation there. And that might be an indication that you're becoming deeply relaxed. We're going to do the same squeezing movement. If you want to try the other hand, you can, or you can do the same hand, but you stick out the pointer finger of one hand, and then you take the four fingers of the other hand and close them around, sticking out the thumb of that hand where the four fingers are wrapped around, and then taking that thumb, resting those hands in your lap. We're going to do the same squeezing movement, but this time we'll squeeze the thumb, so the same thing that we did before. So as you softly exhale, squeeze your thumb, taking the whole duration of the exhale to squeeze your thumb. And as you softly inhale, relax that squeezing, relaxing your grip. So just like before, you're synchronizing the movement of squeezing with the movement of your breath. Gradually squeezing the thumb and gradually letting it go. Each time you softly exhale, the pressure around the thumb tightens. And each time you softly exhale, the thumb begins to expand. So you squeeze for as long as the exhalation lasts and release after the inhalation has subsided for as long as that next inhalation. Slowly, gradually releasing your grip on your thumb during the inhalation. Squeezing with the rhythm of your breath. Exhale to squeeze the thumb and inhale to relax. Squeezing using minimal force, minimal effort. You only need to feel the squeeze, and that's it. And then pause and rest, and maybe rest your hands. You can come to rest on your back or remain in seated, but just take a moment as you stop and rest to feel any results. Noticing any sensations in your fingers, hands, and wrists. Noticing any sensations in your arms, chest, or shoulders. Noticing any sensations in your belly. Noticing any sensations in your back. And allow yourself to open up to any pleasurable sensations that you might feel, that might arise. And these pleasurable sensations are your key to relaxing, to tranquility, to inner peace. When you feel ready, let's once more, and with either finger, we're going to do the same squeezing. So the pointer finger comes out with one hand, the other hand grabs that pointer finger and sticks out the thumb. The other hand grabs the thumb. And you hold your group of hands together, one hand holding the pointer finger and the other hand holding the thumb. We're going to combine these two movements now. So on the first breath, as you softly exhale, slowly, gradually squeeze your thumb. As you softly inhale, relax the grip on the thumb. And then on the second breath, as you softly exhale, gradually squeeze your pointer finger. And as you inhale, relax the gripping on the pointer finger. So you repeat that movement sequence of going back and forth with one breath cycle per finger, alternating between your thumb and your index finger. Softly exhaling to squeeze your thumb, softly inhaling to relax, softly exhaling to squeeze your pointer finger, softly exhaling to relax. Synchronizing the squeezing movement with the natural rhythm of the breath and alternating between the fingers, having a profound effect on your mind and your body. And if the breath isn't synchronizing well or it's challenging, just breathe normally and do the movement as it is. You can do the movements at a slower, rhythmic pace than your breath if you choose. The biggest thing is to make these movements small, gradual, and gentle. Just enough to feel this minimal movement, this stimulus that relaxes the body, calms the mind, and brings you to a state of deep rest, away from the stress of life. This is an antidote. And then keep your hands like this if you wish, but close your eyes if you're comfortable, and lie down if you like, resting quietly, just feeling the result of these movements. Letting your hands be completely at ease now, letting them rest apart if that's comfortable. Allow your breath to come and go of its own accord, as you have been doing. Allowing another rest period following movement to sense what you feel. And the most important part of this practice is this resting after, just to sense what you feel. The movements are a stimulus. They're very gently done. The rest periods give the mind and the body all the time they need to receive the stimulus, to process it, and to respond deeply by becoming deeply relaxed in this case. When you practice on your own, remember to alternate between periods of squeezing and periods of rest so that you get all the benefit. Going through several breath cycles, doing several movements when you practice. And you may find that after several movements, that you begin to feel calmer and more peaceful and more tranquil. Once you arrive at this place, it's like sitting back to relax and enjoy the scenery around you. And you can linger in this tranquil state as long as you possibly can to recover from the stress of life. If you notice your mind is racing or you're distracted by thoughts that may be troubling you, simply do the movement a few more times, focusing all your attention on what you're doing, noticing changes in your state of mind and body. And notice now if anything feels different in your forehead or in your cheeks or in your jaw, your lips, your tongue. Noticing if you feel a difference in your eyes, in your mood, in the ability of the mind to be calm and clear. Do you feel more peaceful? Continue to softly inhale and softly exhale, taking all the time you need for each breath. What sensations do you notice lingering now in your two hands? Is there a temperature sensation? Is there anything pleasant or tingling, radiating? Do you feel something different? Direct your attention to your two hands and see what you feel. And now would you bring your hands once more together, taking hold once more of the pointer finger of one hand, the thumb of the other, having the hands together. And now just showing you how we would exit this practice as you practice during the day. You can be on your back or seated, but just rock side to side just to slowly loosen the hands apart, opening yourself up. If you're not already in seated, feel free to come back to seated. To conclude this practice, just rock a little from side to side, just feeling yourself in the room, slowly opening your eyes if you haven't already, reorienting yourself. I hope this practice helps you for any kind of anxiety, stress, or inability to sleep. Continue to practice a few times a day, just for a few moments, and see if this benefits you in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Naya Shanti. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please subscribe for more videos.